Section 5.3, Dividing Polynomials. When we divide polynomials by a monomial, we can separate the polynomial into individual fractions, each containing that same denominator of 3x squared, and then reduce each fraction. "12 divided by 3 is 4. X to the fourth divided by x squared is x to the second. So that gives us 4x squared for that first fraction. In the next one, 6 divided by 3 is 2, and x to the third divided by x squared is x to the first power, leaving 2x for the second fraction. In the third fraction, 9 divided by 3 is 3, and the x squared divided by x squared is 1. They cancel out, leaving just the 3. Final answer, 4x squared minus 2x plus 3. When we divide polynomials by a binomial or trinomial, we must set that up as a regular division problem. 6x squared plus 13x minus 5, all underneath the division bracket, with the 3x minus 1 on the outside. Now we look at first term on the outside and first term on the inside and divide only those two terms. 6x squared divided by 3x is 2x. We put that answer up on top. Now we multiply that 2x times both terms on the outside. 2x times 3x is 6x squared. 2x minus 1 is negative 2x. Our goal here is to get the first term inside the parentheses to be exactly the same, because now we are going to subtract that entire binomial. 6x squared minus 6x squared is 0. They cancel out. 13x minus, always go back to your minus sign here. 13x minus negative 2x becomes 13x plus 2x, which is 15x. Now bring down the next term, minus 5. Again, go back to your first term on the outside, and now your first term on the inside, and divide those two. 15x divided by 3x is a positive 5. Again, multiply that 5 by both terms on the outside of the division bracket. 5 times 3x is 15x. Again, your goal is to have those two numbers the same. And 5 times negative 1 is negative 5. Again, we are going to subtract that binomial. 15x minus 5x cancels out. Negative 5 minus negative 5, remember, becomes plus 5. That also cancels out, leaving us a remainder of 0. Final answer is 2x plus 5. Notice in this problem we had our variables in descending order of the exponents. 2, 1, none. On the inside of our division sign, and also on the outside, 1, none. Sometimes they're missing an exponent. For example, here we have a 3, a 2, and then none at all. We are missing the x to the first power. Also on the outside, we have an x to the second power and then no exponent at all. We are missing x to the first power. In a case like this, we must use what we call a placeholder. So we're going to rewrite this as x squared plus 0x to the first power plus 1. The 0x does not change the value. It just changes the way it looks so that we can perform our calculations. And then we also rewrite underneath the division bracket 4x to the third plus x squared plus 0x to the first power plus 2. We need to have those placeholders in there before we can do our division. So now, once again, we look at the outside term, the first term on the outside and the first term on the inside, and do that division. 4x to the third divided by x squared is 4x. Now we want to multiply that 4x times all three terms on the outside. 4x times x squared is 4x to the third power. 4x times 0x is plus 0x to the second power. Remember, add those exponents. And 4x times 1 is 4x. Now we can do our subtraction. 4x to the third minus 4x to the third cancels out. 2x squared minus 0x squared is still just 2 or x squared. And 0x minus 4x is negative 4x. Bring down your next term, plus 2. Again, look at the first term on the outside, first term on the inside, do that division. X squared divided by x squared is plus 1. Multiply that 1 times all three terms on the outside of the division bracket. 1 times x squared is x squared. 1 times 0x is 0x. And 1 times 1 is 1. Now subtract that trinomial. X squared minus x squared cancels out. Negative 4x minus 0x is negative 4x, and 2 minus 1 is 1. Here we have a remainder. When you have a remainder, you take your answer up on top, 4x plus 1, and add the remainder as a fraction over the divisor out in front of your division bracket, x squared plus 1. Do not include the placeholder in that answer. And that is your final answer.